Pandemic, war, inflation, and now Wall Street landlords are planning mass evictions. They want to kick out Americans and replace them with foreign investors who can pay more rent, and they're doing this by buying up properties that have been foreclosed on or otherwise left vacant. And the surprising part is, this has already happened in some parts of the country. But if a bill passes Congress, it could prevent the evictions from happening nationwide. A proposed bill is trying to stop landlords from kicking people out. The measure was inspired by an incident involving two Brooklyn residents who were evicted after years of paying rent on time. And even though they had paid off most of their debt at one point, another landlord came along and took them out anyway. More rent-stabilized apartments are now vacant, and tenant advocates say landlords are holding them for ransom. So that's where this proposed bill came in, right? This proposal would require landlords to wait until the end of a lease before they can start eviction proceedings. The bill, which was introduced by Representative Alexia Ocasio-Cortez, which everyone loves, right, is called the HR 4791 Act, and it would make sure that the tenants who have been evicted from their apartments can still live with their families while they look for new homes in New York City or elsewhere in America's largest city. The Real Estate Investment Trust, or REITs, are worried about costs. They're the companies that own the buildings that are being evicted. In many cases, these REITs are also landlords themselves and therefore need to pay for lawyers to evict their tenants. They have to buy new properties in order to house evicted tenants, which is expensive since they have to pay full price for them. Not something you want when your budget is already tight. The cost of renovations also come into play here. If you're moved into a new apartment with newly purchased furniture or done any other kind of renovation work on your home before, moving in again after an eviction by an investor like yourself, then choosing expenses can add up quickly too. A boom in real estate markets is making it worse than when the housing market is booming. It can be hard to get into a house or apartment. The boom has made it harder for people to rent affordable housing and harder for people who want homes but can't afford them. And it's making it even more difficult for people with low incomes and credit scores to buy or refinance their mortgages. The boom has been growing since the recession ended in 2009, but now that we're entering into the 7th year of recovery and counting, it feels like we've hit a peak of real estate. Mainstream media is lying to you about the housing crisis. In the mainstream media, you may have read about how Wall Street landlords are evicting people from their homes. I mean, sure, you can't blame them for wanting to make a buck. But this is not what's happening at all. The real estate investment trusts industry is worried about costs caused by the inflation, and large corporations are buying up foreclosed properties as a result. A boom in the real estate market is making it worse by inflating prices and causing more foreclosures than we need right now. If a bill is passed, Americans could be protected from Wall Street landlords. With this bill, tenants could stay in their homes for more than a year. They would also have the right to fight evictions and receive compensation if they are evicted without cause. In conclusion, the bill would provide protections for renters in the event of a mass eviction by stopping landlords from using eminent domains, which would allow them to seize homes without compensation or due process from tenants. However, the catch is it may actually do more harm than good if passed into law at all, because it could cause landlords not only to fail but even lose money instead due to legal costs associated with defending themselves against lawsuits filled by former tenants looking for compensation over lost property values due solely because someone else decided otherwise, without consulting anyone else's first, before making any decision about anything whatsoever related thereto. As a result, it's extremely complicated, which is why the House of Representatives has yet to send it to the Senate. But if it were you, would you want this to become law? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Alright guys, thanks for watching my video. If you have any questions, leave a comment below and I'll see you in the next video.